Yo, what is going on, Guardians, and welcome back to another Destiny 2 gameplay video. Hey, in this video we're going to be chatting about the comp changes with the new competitive playlist here in Destiny 2 with Shadowkeep, and it is dramatically different. So if you're going into it with expectations about what the comp playlist is like based on your previous experiences, it's way different. Like it is night and day different in terms of a competitive experience, and I gotta say, it is so much better. I'm enjoying it so much more. And let's talk about some of the changes specifically and go over them individually. First and foremost, there's two playlists now. Okay, there's a playlist that's just anybody can queue into it, whether you're in a fire team or solo, you can queue in. The other playlist is for solo players. Yeah, it's a freelance mode, so that you cannot go in there with anyone in your fire team. It is just you. So 3 random solo queue people against 3 other solo queue people. And I played both today. So I did about, I want to say, probably around 3.5 to 4 hours of comp today. And I went from 0 to like 4,400, almost 4,500 in those 3.5 hours. And I did most of it in the solo playlist. And then I duo queued for about an hour. And then I had a full fire team for 2 matches, right? So that was my distribution today, and I went from 0 to almost 4,500. And I gotta say, oh my gosh, it was so refreshing. So your gains now are based on individual performance and your true skill. What does that mean? It means that you can lose and gain glory, right? If you play well enough, your team could lose, and you could be like, man, my blueberries sucked. It sucks to lose, but well, guess what? You played well enough. The game's like, you know what? Screw it. We're going to give you 100 glory for this match. And you're like, wait, what? I lost. That's cool. I like that. Individual performance matters. Also, gains are based on your true skill. Well, what does this mean? It means that the game is going to sense, okay, you know what? This is whoever. This is Luminosity playing. The game already has created a profile for Lumi, and it knows how good he is. So it's like, Lumi's starting at 0, and he's going to win this match, and when he does, we're going to give him like 300 glory, right? Because it's going to try and catapult you, basically. It's trying to catapult you up to where you belong, and then it'll start to even out your gains and losses, right? But it's going to try and just launch you straight to where you should be, and you might think, well, hey, that's not fair to me. I'm a 2100 at best player. But you know what? This is good. Why? Because it means these people that could keep you down, these people who, are legend ranked players, but they're not there yet, they're going to get out of your queues faster. Like, the game's just going to be like, look, you shouldn't be matching these people. We're just going to shove them out of this bracket. And it's no sweat off your back. What does it matter? They weren't going to stay in that bracket anyways. It's just getting them out of there sooner. So you don't have to deal with that crap. You don't have to deal with the sweat lords that are 10 times better than you. You get to spend more time playing people of equal-ish skill and actually learn something from your matches rather than getting stomped every now and then by these people who really don't belong in your bracket. It's going to catapult them to where they belong, so you don't have to deal with that. That is nice. That is nice. You know what it also does? It also helps with recoveries. One of the things that's super obnoxious is when you see these low-level players and they got terrible stats. You get matched up with them because the game thinks they're a bad player, but guess what? It's freaking Sweats McGee on a recovery that someone's paying him $300 for, and it's ruining the lower level player's experience while he's doing this recovery. Well, guess what? The game is going to constantly be updating its information about the player. So even if it's a terrible player, but suddenly they have 5 matches in a row where they're just playing like gods, the game's going to be like, hey, this dude is not this dude. Let's start matching him up against better players. It's going to adjust more quickly, and again, it's just going to get them out of your way quicker, faster. And so they're going to have to work a little bit harder for their recovery growth because they got to play better people for the majority of the time that they're doing their recovery. The biggest change, obviously, is 3v3 now. It's not 4v4, and it's only survival. 3v3 survival. And 3v3, I got to say, is so much better. It's way better. You, as an individual player, matter more. Right? It's less chaotic, it's less cluttered, and when you lose, more weight rests on your shoulders. But on the flip side, when you win, more of that responsibility is on you as well, and you take more ownership of those victories because you're you know 1 out of 3 players, not 1 out of 4. And it freed me up personally to feel, especially in the solo queuing, it freed me up to feel like I was actually contributing a lot more to my team than I do when I'm in a situation where maybe I've got some bad teammates, and that means I'm trying to carry 3 people or sort of offset their plays, and they're going off solo on these silly routes, and it doesn't make sense. They're getting farmed. I feel less punished for having lesser skilled players on my team, and I also, on the flip side, I feel like I can help players out even more. Like I had some matches today that we won where I had a teammate that had 0.05 KAD, and we still won. And it's like, one bad player can't absolutely tank it as hard as when it was a 4v4 environment. So 3v3 is just so much more manageable to make good plays. Heavy every round, some people really dislike that, and I don't like heavy, but at the same time I understand why it's there. It's to discourage long matches. It wants to keep your experience just moving along. It doesn't want you to have to wait out long matches that go to capture points all the time. So the heavy is there to force engagements, and more often than not, it does exactly that. And I would say personally, I wish that I would cut the ammo in half, so you only got 1 rocket, right? 1 coil shot when you pick it up, 2 grenade launcher shots instead of 4. Like, just cut it in half. And I think that would be a fair compromise, because people will still fight over it, because that's still a kill in 3v3 survival. It matters, but it doesn't matter quite as much. It's not as punishing for the team that just didn't happen to have map control at the time that they needed to have map control. Hand cannon changes. I've seen a mixed bag. My general observation is that the sweatier the player, the less they like the changes, because of the range drop off. But personally, I like it. I think this is a fair trade-off. So our recoil animation was dialed down. So hand cannons are much more usable. They make more sense. The visual recoil isn't just stupid and it's like a solar eclipse that blinds you. Like, it's not so obnoxiously in your way anymore. You can control your shots, make better plays with hand cannons, and the trade-off is that they're just going to have more damage drop off at range, so you can't map people with them. Honestly, that's fine. If you look at the overall meta of the game, hand cannons are, go to guardian.gg and go to weapon stats, and you will see there is everything else in the game all cluttered together. And then there's hand cannons that is literally in a different freaking zip code way above everything else, and nothing else even comes close to it. And the other top thing that does get up there near it is shotguns. It's not even another primary. So it's okay, and I found that it is creating a little bit of weapon diversity. I ran into bows, I ran into pulse rifles, I ran into some Jade Rabbits on Widow's Court. I even ran into people running things like Sunshot and Thorn. It's mixing up the weapon meta a little bit, and that's even in the higher ranks. That's not just on the low ranks. People of all ranks are starting to mix things up with their weapon selection. I think that's fantastic. Well, yeah, those are my thoughts. I hope that you enjoy them. I'll try not to make this video too long. Try and honor your time, as you guys are probably trying to grind out some Shadowkeep yourselves. Feel free to come check out the live stream on Facebook.com/TheTrueVanguard. We have a whole page there. You can share your clips, do LFGs. If you become a supporter, you can get access to our supporter-only group, and some supporter-only content there as well. So thanks for watching the video, guys. Best of luck in your grinding, and I hope to catch you in the Crucible. Bye-bye.